Hello everybody, here's what's coming up tonight on Now. That picture pretty much tells the story. Going to be a wet and wild weekend. We'll get you the latest details on that. Speaking of the weather, it played a major role in a local couple losing its fishing vessel. We'll tell you about that. And Lindsay?
Plus, this weekend we get an extra hour of sleep. Think you know everything there is to know about daylight saving time? We're going to put some myths to the test. This is NewsCenter now.
Friday, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Lindsay Mills. Walking into work this morning, I had this thought and I had to Instagram it. It was, is this the soggiest fall that there ever was? You know?
Look what it has done to my hair. Yeah. I mean, JC, right? Come on, help me out here.
It's not even fair. Jess is having a great hair day. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it has been so rainy, right? And unfortunately, the rain continues into tomorrow. And then looking ahead into the next week, we have a couple more rainy days to go. So fall's not over yet. We will see some more rain too. A couple showers out there right now, but that heavy rain we had earlier will be back overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. There will be some pockets of some pretty heavy rain for your Saturday. Unfortunately, there it is, still well off to our south and west, but it is heading this way. Now, not only will we see the rain tomorrow, but we'll also see the wind. Wind gusts could be up to 50 to 55 miles an hour tomorrow, so keeping an eye on that. So far, these are rainfall totals. Most of us around about a ½ inch. That one in Lewiston is too low. Some locations getting close to an inch, though. Sanford, almost an inch of rain from this system so far. Another inch to an inch and a half possible for the overnight hours tonight and into the day tomorrow. So plenty of rain out there. Temperatures right now for most of us are in the upper 40s and lower 50s, 45 right now in Augusta and 45 as well in Bangor. Now overnight tonight, temperatures will actually warm up a little bit. So our highs tomorrow will be pretty warm. Most of us will be able to make it into the low 60s, but we still got all of this on the way. We'll be dealing with that tomorrow, but we'll talk about some sunshine too coming up in just a little bit, guys.
All right, Jessica, thank you very much. In the news at this hour, New York prison is the next stop for pipe bomb suspect Cesar Sayoc. Sayoc waived a bond hearing today and agreed to be transferred. He faces federal charges of sending explosive devices to prominent Democrats, critics of President Donald Trump, and media outlets. Many of the people targeted were in New York, and that's also where a large part of the investigation began. Sayoc faces 48 years behind bars if he's convicted.
A memorial service in Washington, D.C. today for Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was executed and dismembered last month after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Family, friends, and other journalists gathered to remember the Washington Post contributor. Khashoggi's fiance, in a videotaped message, asked President Trump to help Turkey investigate the murder.
Some data in today that shakes out as some good news and some bad news. The number of drug overdose deaths in 2017 across the country came in at the highest level ever. Heroin, fentanyl, and other opioids helped spike the number to 72,000 deaths in our nation. That's according to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Maine's on the top 10 list for states for fentanyl deaths. Some good numbers on the jobs front, though. U.S. employers added $250,000 new jobs last month. Unemployment remains at a 5-decade low rate of 3.7%.
All right. Did you catch this? I hope you did. The NFL take-a-knee controversy took an interesting turn in last night's matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Raiders. A 49ers cheerleader took a knee as the national anthem was playing. Of course, this is the team that sparked all the protest a couple seasons ago when 49ers QB Colin Kaepernick took a knee to protest brutality and racial inequality. All right, Halloween is barely over and the holiday creep is already here in full force. And we want to know, when do you start celebrating the holiday season? Like right now, or after Thanksgiving, or maybe once it's December 1st?
Yeah, all the above. Make sure you cast your vote at pulse.newscentermaine.com or on our mobile app. You can hit the Pulse tab and make your choice there. Feel free to comment on our Facebook Live and YouTube live streams as well. The reason we're asking this question has to do with a story about retailers and holiday sales. Take a look.
The holiday season is always an important time for major retailers, but this year especially, many of them are feeling the crunch. Halloween Halloween is history. For many retailers, that means the holiday season is here.
I think it gets earlier every year.
A time that's even scarier for some major retailers.
A lot of retailers are facing this heavy pressure and not responding well to it. So it's leading up to this being a crucial year.
The pressure coming from online options.
The biggest group of consumers right now, age-wise, demographically, is millennials. And millennials buy differently. As a general rule, they don't find the value in the traditional retailing experience that previous generations have.
It's now or never.
If they can't survive in this economic climate, they probably aren't going to survive going forward.
Given ideal economic conditions.
The tax cuts, which presumably have given shoppers more money in their pockets. You think about the stock market, which has been on a roller coaster for the last couple of weeks, but prior to that, it was up big time. Unemployment is at historic lows.
So could a poor holiday season for some major retailers cause them to completely close?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. For many retailers, this 3-month stretch, the final stretch of the year, is what makes or breaks their year. And if we're piling poor sales on top of poor sales year after year, I could see several big retailers being pinched this holiday season.
You know, we seem to hear that all the time, and I get it. I mean, I'm of the generation where I like to go to the stores and look through and pick, but I can certainly see the value in grabbing one of these, doing all my shopping, having it show up at my door for free. That's tough to compete against.
It really is tough to compete against. And in terms of our Pulse poll today, the reason why we're asking this is because I'm already seeing the ads roll out for the holidays. I'm hearing the Christmas music, that sort of thing. I remember when I used to work in retail, actually, I was so shocked that first season where as soon as Halloween was over, we were in at 3 a.m. the next morning setting up the Christmas tree in the store.
I mean, I know this is their time to make the money, like he was just saying, but I like my seasons. I like Halloween to be there. I want to get to Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving, I'll go all in on everything else. But let me get to Thanksgiving first. All right. More trains from Boston are coming to the towns of Freeport and Brunswick in our state. Starting November 12th, the number of round trips between Boston and those main towns will jump from 3 to 5, Monday through Friday. One additional trip will be added to the weekend schedule as well.
The end of an era for Netflix as it drops the final season of House of Cards. Canceling Cards and Orange is the New Black in 2019 officially closes the streaming service's first chapter of programming 5 years after it began.
All right, we all want to know, if you're a Cards fan, how do they kill off or get rid of, or we don't know if he's killed, Kevin Spacey's character, Francis Underwood, the former president. Spacey was, of course, fired due to allegations of sexual misconduct and assault. If you do not want to know what happens to him before you decide to watch it, don't Google it. There are spoilers everywhere. I have stayed away from Googling anything because I'm ready to watch this season of House of Cards, probably this weekend.
Very good. All right, let's check in to see what you guys are saying about our holiday creep. Okay. Most of you are saying right after Thanksgiving, 56, 57% there. Okay.
Voices of reason.
Fair? Yeah.
No, I would agree. Thank you for voting, and keep on voting throughout the rest of our show.
All right, lots of rain in our weekend forecast, as we know, but there's also football tonight. Chris Costa's checking in with our 5th quarter preview in a little bit. Also ahead.
Usually when bad storms come in, our boat is on land.
This couple got dealt a pretty tough hand, and we'll see how they're rebounding from losing their boat and what the community's doing to help. That's coming up. Regional semifinals in high school football taking place across our state this weekend.
And Chris Costa is live in Lewiston tonight with more. Hey, Chris.
Haley and Lindsay, yeah, the two teams are actually coming to Lewiston tonight, and neither of those teams are the Lewiston Blue Devils. Why is that? Because we're expecting a ton of rain tonight, and Lewiston just installed this nice new turf earlier this year, which should help out with those very slick conditions. The matchup tonight, a big Class B matchup between the 3-seed Brunswick Dragons and the 2-seed Coney Rams. These two teams met earlier in the season in Week 8, the last week of the regular season. The Rams came away with a 30-6 win, so the Dragons playing for revenge and their playoff lives tonight. Another big Class B matchup also going on tonight. tonight. Kennebunk and Greeley, they will play at Waterhouse Field in Biddeford. Again, turf field. They're trying to avoid these rainy conditions. A lot of games have actually been moved to Saturday because of all of this rain, including another Class B matchup. Marshwood and Falmouth are going to play in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, trying to dodge this very wet forecast. And then don't forget, also in Class C North, 2-seed Herman, 3-seed Winslow playing at Husson tonight. So we've got a lot of games that we are keeping our eyes on. And we know that you guys are going to be following along too. So make sure you join us for the 5th quarter at 11 o'clock tonight and hop on our Facebook live stream so that you can get your questions about your favorite teams in the state answered by our team of high school football experts. Just use the hashtag 5QME as you're following along tonight, and make sure you submit those questions on our Facebook Live at 11 o'clock. Lee and Lindsay, we'll see you later. Hopefully we stay dry out here.
All right, Coco, thank you very much, sir. Okay, so this is important. According to Webster's Dictionary, remember those things? The definition of the word parade is a public procession, especially one celebrating a special day or event and including marching bands and floats. So, what happened this afternoon on Commercial Street in Portland would not meet that definition or really any other definition.
Go Mets! Congratulations, Red Sox.
Nothing says fake Red Sox parade like a fake Red Sox fan. Portland Mayor Ethan Strimling jumping onto a duck boat tour that was organized by radio station Q97.9's morning show. A smattering, and that is generous, of people lined the streets to salute the fake World Series trophy that the Q folks made out of tinfoil and cardboard. Clearly, the rain kept away the tens of thousands of fans that would have shown up for a chance to revel in the goodness of yet another Red Sox world title. Having people show up for a parade, though, is clearly overrated because a good time was had by all. They're crazy. Maine Mariners play their first home game of November tonight, and you've got the chance to see this one or maybe a later game in Storm Center style. NewsCenter Maine and the Mariners are providing 13 free tickets for every home game this season in the Storm Center box.
Tickets are available to 501c3 nonprofits and youth and high school sports teams. To apply, visit our website. There are a limited number of tickets. And let's take a look now at an update to the question we have for everybody at home tonight. Okay.
Right after Halloween is starting to make a move.
I know,
and that makes me nervous.
It was 0.
I know, that makes me nervous.
Okay.
But right after Thanksgiving is still in the lead. We want you guys to vote. Pulse.newscentermaine.com or click on the Pulse tab on our app, and we want to hear what you have to say. When can we start celebrating the holidays?
All right. Well, the weather last weekend took a toll on one couple's livelihood, right?
Yeah, we're going to see how community is rallying to get them back on their feet. And as you've already seen, Jess is in for Keith, and she says there's actually good news on the way besides the fact that we get Jess instead of Keith. Being a fisherman requires, as a basic necessity, having a boat. There's a couple from Cape Elizabeth that is having to deal with the harsh reality of not having that available to them anymore, while also realizing there's a community around them that cares.
I won't be able to do a stern man. I'll have to fish by myself.
Craig Garland is a fourth-generation commercial fisherman who has been making a living on the water for 20 years. His boat, the Gianna, is what he's used to set and pull about 700 lobster traps a year. Last weekend, a fall nor'easter hit the coast. The day after, Craig and his wife Julie went out to check on his boat, and it was gone.
We believe that somehow she came off the mooring, and the scuppers, which are in the back of the boat that usually gets rid of the water, actually took the water in, and at that point started sinking her, and our pumps couldn't get it done as quick, keep up with it.
One good thing here is the timing of what happened.
If it would have happened in the spring, it probably would have been a lot worse. I was trying to figure out what to do for a job and trying to get everything situated so I can get back to fishing again. At least in the winter and fall, I still got 3 or 4 months to figure out what's going on.
Craig is a volunteer firefighter in Cape Elizabeth, as well as a member of the town's wet team, which assists in diving operations. He's used to helping others, not needing the help. Town members and the fishing community have pulled together to help any way they can.
I don't want this to come out the wrong way. It's a little overwhelming, but in a very good way. Surprising that a lot of people can get together to support somebody.
And if you want to learn more about Craig and Judy and their story or how you could help, there is a link with more information on the Now section of our website. And honestly, the best part, really, as we talked about, is at least the season's basically over, and this isn't in the middle of when he was trying to make all his money for the entire year. So hopefully they'll figure it out by the time next fishing season begins.
That weather is no joke.
Yeah.
I know. It's been crazy, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to get the wind, unfortunately, again tomorrow afternoon and evening. So not great. We're talking about big waves again possible tomorrow. And more rain again. Right now, some showers out there. They're fairly scattered at this point now. We had some heavy rain earlier, but you can see just a few showers around. Now, there is more rain off to our south and west that's heading this way. You can see it right here. That'll move into our area overnight tonight and through the morning and early afternoon tomorrow. But after that, it will clear out. So at least the second half of the weekend looks pretty good. We'll see some sunshine for the day on Sunday, but tomorrow we'll be dealing with this. A low pressure system is going to track through our area, and as that low moves out, we will see some pretty strong winds on the backside of it. We'll talk about the winds in just a minute, but let's go through the hour-by-hour forecast. So for the rest of the night tonight, upper 40s, lower 50s. Watch what happens with these temperatures tonight. They will stay very, very warm. Most of us stay in those upper 40s and lower 50s, but by 2 o'clock in the morning, you might wake up to some very heavy rainfall out there. It'll continue into early Saturday morning. Heaviest rain along the coast at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Temperatures still close to 50 degrees. Then as we go into tomorrow afternoon, we'll start to see the rain taper off a little bit. Looks like we'll get a little bit of a break before the rest of the showers move through and the cold front moves through. It's really going to cool us off quite a bit into early Sunday morning. So by tomorrow night, we're starting to cool off. Could even see a little bit of snow in the mountains tomorrow night on the backside of that low where all the cold air is. Sunday morning, though, going to start nice and bright with temperatures in the low to mid 40s. You're going to see the sun pretty much stick around for the entire day. Temperatures stay close to 50 degrees for the highs. As far as additional rainfall totals go, we can expect another inch to about an inch and a half from this point on. Again, things will wrap up by tomorrow night. As far as the winds go, though, that's going to be another issue. So tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, not too bad. Winds gusting 25 to 30 along the coast. But then look what happens as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Those wind speeds really increase, 35 to 40 mile an hour gusts by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Then we could really see gusts as high as 45 to 55 miles an hour. So unfortunately, we're going to have to consider some scattered power outages possible for mainly tomorrow evening and into tomorrow night. So get prepared for that. Winds will die down as we go into the day on Sunday, but high wind watch is in effect for all of the areas here highlighted in orange. Here's your marine forecast since we're just talking about it. Seas tomorrow 7 to 10 feet. Winds could gust as high as 45 knots. Pretty close to 50 to 55 miles an hour there. So again, tomorrow going to stay rainy and windy, but then some more good news. We get an extra hour of sleep this weekend. I don't think anyone's more pumped about that than me. On Sunday, we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures will be cooler, though, upper 40s, lower 50s. Stays nice and bright into Monday. Showers return for Election Day on Tuesday. And then more rain. It looks like another possible significant storm as we go into next Wednesday.
You know the saying, nothing in life is free? So we get the extra hour of sleep, but then it's dark at 4 o'clock.
I know,
so
right?
it's,
I know.
I'd
Trying to put a positive spin on things here.
I mean, I'll take the hour, but I'd rather have it not be dark so early. That's because we're all going to be looking outside going, oh, it's 3:30 and it's pitch black.
Yeah.
See?
All right. Well, speaking of, Jess, thank you so much. We are turning back the clocks this weekend because obviously daylight saving ends.
There are a lot of myths about daylight saving time. We're going to debunk some of them right now.
It's called daylight savings. That's our first myth. No, although the plural version is used commonly in the US and Canada, the correct term is daylight saving, no S at the end. How about this? The older you are, the harder it is to adjust to the time change. That, in fact, is true. Sleep-wake cycles change as we get older, so adults 65 and older might actually struggle with that time change more than others do. Some states have ditched the time change. That is also true. Those states, Hawaii and Arizona. And lastly, daylight saving time started for farmers. Not exactly. The idea behind daylight saving time is to take advantage of daylight hours and save energy. President Lyndon Johnson signed the Uniform Time Act into law in 1966.
Yeah, you know we love us some snap maps
Liam
here
does
on
too.
NewsCenter. Everybody was kind of like,
Liam's in a good
there
mood
it is.
now.
You see it? You got a big smile.
Yeah.
What's snapping it? Here's the best part of this segment is Lindsay and I generally don't know what these are going to be, so we see them for the first time like you.
Oh, husky.
There is a puppy, so I mean you can't really lose there.
And a new harness.
And
that harness life,
it looks
though.
like the puppy's name is Blue,
Yeah.
and Blue is dreaming.
Oh, okay. This looks like trouble. What's going on here?
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Okay, I'm nervous. Oh my gosh, thank goodness that someone stopped the train.
Oh my gosh, is he cute?
Look at how
what?
happy he is, though.
Yeah, look at that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you do on a rainy day, right? You gotta have fun inside somehow.
Inside drill, yep.
All right.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is fun. Did you ever do this as a kid? It's big at like Halloween
bobbing for
parties.
apples, but you're trying to eat a donut off a string.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never wanted to be the person trying it. I enjoyed making fun of the people who were.
Oh, that was at Lewiston High School.
Yeah. There you
Or
go.
somewhere in Lewiston, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
Good times.
A lot more coming up on NewsCenter Maine at 5:30. Cindy Williams is here with a preview. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. We have just a few days now until the midterm elections, and President Trump is hitting the campaign trail hard. For the candidates themselves, we find out their get-out-the-vote strategies. And we're going to see how ranked choice voting in the 2nd District congressional races open the door for independents to campaign more creatively against the Republican incumbent. Those stories and more all ahead at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, Cindy, thanks so much. Stick with us and vote in our Pulse poll over the break. We'll be right back. All right, checking in on our Pulse poll results for tonight. Most of you saying, 51% of you saying that you started celebrating the holidays right after Thanksgiving. So thank you guys so much for voting tonight.
Much appreciated.
All right, well, they say that you can find almost anything at Goodwill, but this you certainly really can't find that often, and I hope you don't find that often. This.
Oh, man.
That's what happened at this sorting center in Fort Worth, Texas. Staff members say they found an albino python hanging over the edge of a donation bin.
Not clear if the snake was actually dropped off by its owner or if it just slithered into the box that was then donated to Goodwill. Randy Vines was there when the staff members made the discovery. He said he wanted nothing to do with the donation and left the snake charming to his boss.
Eek.
People visit New York for Broadway, for the shows, for the landmarks, for the museums, but will they also soon be coming for the duck?
This is quacktastic. Get it?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, this is like a huge mystery. Have you heard this?
No.
Okay, this story is insane. There's this duck here at Central Park in New York. They have no idea where it came from. It's a duck that's only usually found in Asia, and it's made its way mysteriously to the Big Apple.
You know who could really crack the case of how this happened?
Who?
The Duck of Justice from the Bangor Police Department.
I met the Duck of Justice.
As did I.
I got to take a photo with the Duck of Justice.
As did I.
Okay.
Exclusive interview on NewsCenter now. Anyway, have a good weekend. NewsCenter 5:30 starts right now.